you were telling me about an old memory you had that ended up bringing us here.
Oh yeah. Back in the early 80s, my parents, they moved to St. Petersburg, Florida. And I followed soon after. And I brought my young family with me. And my dad said to me one morning, "Want to go to the flea market?" I'm like, "Oh, flea market." I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I was like, "Yeah, okay." Because I'm thinking of New Bedford flea markets. You know those flea markets they had back in Mass?
Yeah, and the old
Unless you were in
factories.
Western Mass, they had some, but yeah, the factories with the tables lined up, thought you were in a school cafeteria. Well, anyways, when I walked into this flea market, it was called Wagon Wheel, and since it's closed down, it didn't reopen after COVID.
Right.
And wow, I was amazed. They had these ear plants. I've never seen an ear plant in my life. I'm like, how's this thing grow? So the Florida experience of flea markets was fabulous, and the memory stuck with me. And now that I'm back here, like 30, 40 years later, I'm like, let's find a local flea market. I like to always check and see who the artist is. Let's see the work. Janice, fabulous. That looks beautiful. I especially love the cows. Sumter County Farmers Market, Webster, Florida, has quite a story to tell.
So there's quite a history to this place, huh?
Yes.
Where did it all start?
It started with the Great Freeze in 1894.
And then again in 1895, right?
December was the first freeze, and some of the citrus survived, which was the Parsons, brown, orange. And so after they had the Great Freeze, they needed a way to survive because the oranges was what
the crop was ruined.
I mean, Webster was big for the orange groves, and that was their livelihood. That's how they survived back in the late 1800s.
But now, because of the freeze, all those trees were killed.
So what they did is they planted things that grew twice a year, which was cucumbers, peppers, and red tomatoes. And that was the beginning of the story of this farming.
Of this farmer's market.
So much work goes into setting up.
Okay, so they switched to cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, but then they ran into some troubles. What were the troubles they ran into?
Well, their buyers began exploiting them.
Yes.
And what you did is you had, back in the late 1800s, farmers had sold their vegetables and fruit from their homes.
Right.
And the buyers would exploit them, and they would come up to one farmer on their farm and say, "I'll give you $1 for that cucumber." And this just as examples. It didn't cost $1.
Right.
And he'd say, no, I want $1.50. So he'd go to the farmer down the road, and he'd say, "I'll give you 85 cents for that cucumber." And they'd be like, okay. So
why were they so desperate to sell right away? What was that lever that the buyers used against them?
Oh, because the vegetables rot really quick from the sun, the Florida heat.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where it began. And then they decided, they did that for 30 years. From like up to 1937 when they got tired of it, and what they did is they all got together and decided to form a co-op.
And where did they put it?
Well, right here where we're standing. And it didn't look like this. It took time. They were actually trucking, which doesn't mean they're driving a pickup truck. They were trucking, meaning they would move their fruits and vegetables to this property, all the farmers, and they would set it for one price so they couldn't get exploited anymore.
Okay. So they had like collective pricing,
Yes.
and that kind of helped the farmers maintain a good price.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Wow.
Hmm. Looks great, ladies. Come on in.
How long you been coming to this market? About 3. Oh yeah, look at this.
Good morning.
Good morning. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at what I got this morning. Quarter cantaloupe. Look at that.
Oh.
Big one. Look at that.
All right, let's see. Go ahead,
Or you
toss
can
it.
mix now some watermelon and a cantaloupe, $55. Come on down to Webster this morning. I'll give you a good deal.
That's right. You're gonna be
You
all.
make a fruit salad? I got it right here. Right here. Always good deals. Every Monday, always free good
I'm gonna
deals.
get all the people right here for you.
want
I
it with
promise.
the right price.
Okay.
You won't get that at Walmart or Aldi. Yes, ma'am. Come on down to the price is right. I'm old school, baby.
So cute. I asked the farmer why the plastic. He said it keeps the insects off the crops. So smart. Chris, look straight ahead. What do you see?
The Florida cracker,
I'm gonna buy a shirt from there.
or the Florida cracker.
In 1937, other than produce, they had auction for the cattle. And over there is the office. And they would ring a bell every morning to signal the start of the auction. And the farmers market. Sometime in 1990, the bell stopped ringing. We're not quite sure. From what I read, it was because the crowds just got too big and they didn't feel like it was necessary to ring a bell. Amazing, right?
So we were just at the Sumter County Farmers Market,
Yes.
and now we're at the
Truck going by.
Swabarama.
Yes, in Webster,
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they're connected, right?
Yes, absolutely connected through bartering
Bartering.
over at the farmers market.
Right. It started with the farmers and also the cattle auctions. I guess they had a lot of time on their hands. They had to sit around.
Right,
And they started to bring their junk.
yes. So, if, for example, if someone had a lot of corn and the other person had a lot of shovels, they would switch.
Just barter, right?
Yeah.
Non-cash economy.
Hmm.
And people just started bringing their stuff and swapping. And then eventually it morphed into more of like a flea market and like antiques and collectibles like it is
Yes.
today. And that transition happened in the 1950s.
Did you notice the sheds?
Yes.
How organized that is. They're like multicolored, and that's where they can keep their things. That's pretty organized.
Right, they don't have to keep carting it back and forth
Yeah.
between their house and here. They have like sheds.
Bet you they have a good rent price for that.
Oh.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a pastel rainbow. Well, we're definitely going to come back to the farmers market and the flea market when it's winter in Florida.
Right. Things kind of
See,
slow down when it
yeah,
starts getting
we're
warm.
adjusting to the heat a little still. And it's very humid for today
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling it, and so is my hair.
Ah, ah.
Oh,
Ooh.
stop. Anyways, so what did you think about the Sumter County Farmers Market?
I liked the farmers market was big. There were a lot of
Mm-hmm.
places. Nice to talk to some of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to talk to Bud Fuzzle.
Yes, Bud Fussell. That was
Yeah,
a great moment for me. How about you?
me too.
Yeah,
To talk about him,
yeah.
he is, I would say, kind of like the patriarch of the whole
Mm-hmm.
place. His family, going back 3 generations, were the founding families
Yes.
of this whole um, farmers market.
Distractions.
What?
Continue.
And we talked to him a lot about the history, and he knew a lot. He talked about his grandfather, his father,
Mm-hmm.
and how they came here. And it started out, like we said earlier, it started out as a combine of farmers
Mm-hmm.
setting the prices against
Mm-hmm.
these buyers that were lowballing them.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about how that kind of happened in the 30s, late in the 40s under Roosevelt, and then it kind of went back to the way it was, and the
Mm-hmm.
way it is now. These farmers are dealing with supermarkets
Yeah.
as the
Mm-hmm.
buyers, and
Mm-hmm.
they do a contract,
Right.
and of course they go with the low bid.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said that the freeze that happened last winter really hurt a lot of these farmers a lot too.
It did.
Yeah,
It did.
yeah,
It killed some of their crops. So they were back to 1894
yeah.
or
It's like
95
yeah,
again.
that freeze that we talked about
Mm-hmm.
was. It wasn't as bad as that freeze because I've read about it. It was really, really bad. I mean, there was ice and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
this one did a lot of crops in, and it was like a once every 10, 15 year thing.
All right.
We're getting yelled at. Are we
Anyways,
interlopers? Go away.
I found that for me impressive was that their farm that they lived on when this started back in
Yeah,
1894
their
when they had the
farm goes
freeze
back to
before.
the 1800s.
Yeah, it's still there,
Yeah.
and the family still owns it and operates it, and they have a tree farm too.
Yes.
So they're definitely what you want to call survivalists
Right.
from
That's old Florida. Yeah.
all the let's see, what's the word for it, not tragedies, but all the hardships that they
Right.
came
Yeah.
through, the
They made it
depression.
through
They made
everything.
it
Right.
through
Right.
all this. It's
And just this last bump in the road, the
hmm
last
it was just a bump
frost.
in the road compared to what
Yeah,
happened
some of
in
these other
18.
things that have happened
Hmm.
in history, but it's a generational thing, and I think his son is running things too,
Yeah,
and
what a
hopefully
nice
the
gentleman.
grandkids will
Southern
continue
drawl.
it. Right, right. Us New Englanders down here.
Anyways, let's talk about how they built the farmers market with the mules
Right, we
and
didn't talk about
no,
that.
we didn't.
I guess in the
This
30s
is really interesting.
when they first started, it was just out in the open air, and
Hmm.
they wanted to make these shed type of things to have a roof over their head. So from our research, we
Hmm.
found that as they were doing the farmers market, they'd do the market in the morning and then go out and cut down trees in the swamps and bring these cypress trees up
Hmm.
and fashion them into the framework
Hmm.
for
They used
some of the
mules.
place. Yeah, used mules to pull them
Hmm.
out of the
Yeah,
swamps.
and it was a gradual process. That's where the co-op was born.
Right. This was just growing.
Right. They were
Right.
on
It's
that
just
land.
starting.
They had
Right.
this land, and as they had the land and doing their thing with their bartering and selling their fruits and vegetables, they were building as they sold.
As they were going on.
Yes.
Yeah, it started in 37, but none of the buildings were
No.
there. They gradually
Yep.
evolved over the time when they were here. And some, from what we found, some of those old cypress wood trees are still
still here,
incorporated in
yeah.
some of those buildings.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we didn't get to ask Bud that. He probably
No.
might have known that. I don't know.
He wouldn't know which ones to point out, but
Right,
you
right.
can kind of tell when you look up the frame. The metal roofs, some of them been here since then, since the 30s, and some
Right,
of them are new. They've been
right.
replaced. But it's very colorful here.
It is.
Between the buildings and the sheds that they keep the supplies in, and the fruits and vegetables, you need to come and
Yes.
check it out.
It's definitely worth a trip.
Yeah. Well, my goodness, that guy's in a hurry. Anyways, I get distracted by everything. He'll tell you, birds, trucks, anything, something flies by. I'm like, cut. We could do
Yep.
this over. Anyways, I'll leave this in because I'm not going to reshoot it.
We've had it. Going home.
We're tired. We want to go home. Well, we're tired from the humidity. We're wimps right now.
So what do you
we'll
want to tell
adjust.
the people to do?
What do I want to tell the people to do? I want to tell
like
them to like,
And
subscribe,
Yes.
because we're a lot of fun.
And keep it going.
Yeah.
So we can keep it going.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and till the next video.
Till the next one.
Bye bye.